a pit stop on that last caution and did 4 tires, unlike some teams that took 2 tires only.
Now he battles Elliott Sadler and moves back into the top 10. Now the cars that did not pit, Labonte still leading. Riggs in second. Schrader has slid back to 8th, but still in good position. Scott Riggs, our biggest mover so far. A little bit off cycle on pit stops, putting him up into second place.
Right now he has his hands full of Ricky Rudd in that 21 car. Remember, a little fresher right side tires on Rudd versus none on the 10 car.
Here's Steve.
And guys, Ricky Rudd, after that pit stop when Michael Fatback McSwain chose to put just 2 right side tires on that 21, Ricky said, you know what, Michael, that worked pretty good in the Busch race last night for Sterling Marlin. Marlin almost won that race with a 2-tire stop.
Rudd has driven here for 10 teams, including Richard Childress, Bud Moore, Kenny Bernstein, Rick Hendrick, and the Dygard team. It's his 58th start at Charlotte. He first came here in 1976 in a car owned and prepared by his dad.
Yeah, and his brother AJ was a crew chief, and he's driven here for himself too.
That's right.
So yeah, he's run a lot of laps around this joint.
I'm going to tell you what, if these guys right here, Johnny Sauter's crew, if they can get their act together on pit road, he has just driven away from the rest of this field. He has a car that could run in the top 5 if they'll give him good pit stops without mistakes. He needs a caution right now. He'll be back on the lead lap, though.
He's about a 10th quicker than the cars that are running, that are actually leading the race.
Well, so far this strategy has paid off for Sauter, Casey Mears, and Sterling Marlin. And Martin Truex, they're out in front of Terry Labonte, and so is Scott Wimmer just in front of Labonte, who has never won the 600. He has won the fall race here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Second place battle heating up. That's Scott Riggs just out of frame in front of Ricky Rudd and Jimmy Johnson, 3rd and 4th. Add Mark Martin, and you've got 2nd through 5th all in a row.
I think one of the things that happens to all these race cars, Larry, is the driver tells them what the car is doing at that time. They make adjustments, the driver goes back out, and it's totally opposite of what it was doing, and he gets confused. And it really has to do with what line you run around this racetrack. You want one adjustment to run on the bottom, all of a sudden you need another one to run on the top. You just can't get feedback from the driver right now.
Riggs climbs the hill. He's going to lose a couple of spots here. Rudd goes by, so does Jimmy Johnson.
And that was over there in turn 2, where we've seen it so many times last night in the Busch race and already in this race today.
Leader Terry Labonte working to put Scott Wimmer 1 lap down. That will allow the next cars, led by Ricky Rudd, to close right up on Labonte's 44. Now we got a battle for the lead.
Boy, right there is where you got to be really careful getting down under somebody into turn 1. You got to clear them before you get there. And he did. Terry got by the 22.
Slides just a little bit higher, looking for room around Scott Wimmer. Johnson saw an opening underneath, didn't go for it.
A little early to push the envelope there.
I think Jimmy's just pretty happy to be right where he is right now, because he has probably got a lot of car left.
So Mark Martin in the 6 car battling Scott Riggs in the 10. This is a battle for 4th position right now.
Set him up, take your time here, no rush.
No rush.
Mark Martin won this race in 2002.
And he is $1 million mark from a week ago.
Well, as a matter of fact, he won $1 million in that race. Right. It was one of those bull races. Yeah.
And this is a different car than he won with last week. This car was faster than the car he won with last week at the test they did a couple of weeks ago, but this car drove better too.
Car in the wall, I think it's the 09.
It is. It's Johnny Sauter. Sauter's luck ran out.
I think he got a right front tire, looks like.
He needed a caution to get back on the lead lap, and sadly, it's him.
That looks like a right front tire.
Yeah, and he was driving the wheels off of that thing, and I think one of them just came off. Literally came off.
But now Casey Mears in the 41, Sterling Marlin in the 40, Martin Truex Jr. in the 1. They'll get back on the lead lap the hard way. They were in front of the leader, and very possibly will make sure Scott Wimmer may have gotten the free pass back on the lead lap. That's a shame. These guys had a great race car, but they painted themselves in a box with that mistake on pit road, and Johnny was probably having to run the car much harder than he wanted to.
A couple of laps ago, Dave Blaney took the Blackjack Chevrolet behind the wall, joining Mike Skinner, Jimmy Spencer, and Kurt Busch.
There he goes. You see all the rubber and debris as he heads down into turn 3 there off the 09 front tire. She just let go.
It looks like he's going to take it to the garage area. Of course, this team, they do not run all of the races. There's no reason to be out there points racing.
Yeah, and actually, where the tire blew out was a whole lot better if it had blown out in the middle of the turn.
Yes, sir.
It's the 6th caution flag of the evening. This one for Johnny Sauter, and the pits will be open as the pace truck leads them around.
And I think we will see most everyone on the pit road this time, especially those guys that stayed out a while ago, Dick Berger.
Well, Jimmy Johnson is going to be one of the very first to pit. He was in 3rd position when the caution flag came out. Indeed, he is the first to come to the attention of his crew. They're going to make adjustments in both sides of the back end of that car. Car just a little bit tight coming off turn 4. To Matt.
5 drivers have won the All-Star Challenge and the 600 in the same year. Mark Martin trying to make it number 6. Now 2 tires on his previous stop. No adjustments. No adjustments on this stop. A 4th tire change to Steve. Matt, Ricky Rudd likes this race car. Remember, they took 2 tires last time as well. They'll take 4 this time, but no other adjustments to that number 21 car of Ricky Rudd, making his 58th start at this racetrack.
He's going to get out either 2nd or 3rd, Larry. Pretty close.
See the race off pit road right there. The real winner, Brian Vickers, gained 11 spots. Joe Nemechek in the 01, 13 spots. That tells me those guys probably went with just 2 tires. This is the time, including the pit stop, and you can see right there, 36.87, 35.61. That right there shows me pit road time, including the pit stop, 2 tires only for those cars.
There's Ricky Rudd in that Air Force number 21 of the famed Wood brothers.